Well, we are all about dog tails today from our friends at Hunkydory, and here is just one of the cards that Heidi has made, and here is a little Yorkie running out to greet his master. So please come play with us. Well, let me show you what Heidi has worked with. There is this to begin with. This is an 8x8. It's called Brilliant Backgrounds, but it's dog tails right here. Now this is an 8x8 paper pad, and let me just show you. There are 48 sheets. There's 4 each of 12 different patterns. And on the front, there is a piece like this. And then on the back, there's an all-over pattern. So just like this. Now, let me show you the ones that Heidi did not use. So there's that. Now, this is going to look pretty big to you right here, but let me show you what she does with it. So just really sweet. Oh, I should show you the back, shouldn't I? Let me see. Okay, there you go. Flowers. We've got a park setting and some wood. We've got a bed and some bamboo. Top dog, well, that's going to work with some bones. We've got a street scene and some fabric, and then we've got a river and some tartan. There we go. And again, you're going to get 4 of each one. Then we have all of these. There are 8, and Heidi has used 4, but the 8 doesn't stop because you've got 2 puppies on each one. So we've got a Rottweiler and a German Shepherd. She did not use this. We have a Pug and a Chihuahua. She did not use that. We have a Jack Russell Terrier and a Beagle. She did not use that. We had a Beagle once. And let's see, this is Golden Retriever and a Border Collie. She did not use. And let's see, we've got a Courier, Cavalier King, Charles Spaniel, and a Pomeranian. She did not use. And we've got a Border Terrier and a Dachshund. She didn't use the Dachshund. And let's see, we have a Labrador Retriever and an English Springer Spaniel. She did use one of those, I believe. And this is a Yorkshire Terrier and a French Bulldog. She used the Terrier, as I showed you. And I may have missed one of those, but okay. Those are the 8 sheets. It's got all the foil die cuts, which is why you need the dog tails pattern background sheets. But let's get into what Heidi has created. So we're going to get in closer so you can see. Now, in this case, as I said, she used this one, and she only used the top part. Now, in all of them, they are all die cut. They are all foiled. You can kind of see the foiling. You can probably see it better not through the plastic. There is a background sheet or background piece, and then there are all the pieces, and the idea is that you can foam tape them together over the matching sheet. So the idea is that you would do this one first and then do the next largest one, then the next largest one, and so forth. Now you can do that, or you can decide to, in this case, Heidi has decided not to use this on the front, and she did that most of the time. And then she used this on the inside. And so she decided to use this piece for the front of her card. Now, often she would use the back of her card for the backing of on the front of her card. This time she did not. She decided instead to go to a gingham, and a gingham just works so well with so many things. It's kind of a generic background, and she used the gingham #1, and this has the basic colors, so red, yellow, blue, green, purple. And she used the red, as you can see. And then she cut out this piece. And when I first saw these, I thought, wow, that's really big. But when you cut it down and you use the part that's going to go on the front of your card, and this is, as usual, our 5 by 6.5 inch card, it fits perfectly. So that's really nice. And so she just trimmed this out, matted it onto the solid red. Where do you get that solid red, you might ask? Well, it's in the gingham #1 matching cardstock, of course. And then she matted it onto the actual red gingham, so everything coordinates. And it works really nicely with that doghouse, don't you think? So that becomes the front of her card. And then she went about attaching all of the layers of her puppy. Now, you can do as many layers as you want, or you can just do the one layer and use the others for another card. It is your choice, of course. Now, she elected to do some fun things with her dazzles. And one thing she did is she took the thin line dazzles. These are the colorful ones. And she did a border, just a straight line here and here out of the green. And the green because of the grass down there. And then she added the green jewel dazzles just in the corners, and then a couple along the edges. And then she went into the We're Together More Colors dazzles. And the reason that she used the more colors is she wanted the brown. So Friend and Hugs, put Hugs on his doghouse. And then this has extra little flowers, it has stars, and she let those go along the border and kind of along the house also. Now, being Heidi, she is going to be playing with bows, and in this case she used jute, and I thought that was a really good choice for this little puppy. And of course she's going to use the bow maker because she wants to have her bows perfect every time. And so she's using this whenever you see a bow, whether it's a jute bow or a regular ribbon bow. So just want you to know that. And then she zots it in place. So that takes care of her card front. Now, to do her card inside, she used the back of her this piece. So she simply turned it over. Actually, she used one of the second pieces and covered the inside of her card. And you know how we do that. Simply put glue there, slip this piece just next to the fold, not over it, and along the edge, pressed it down, turned it over, and trimmed it to fit. And then it's going to work perfectly. Now, the other thing she did is that she cut another piece of the red cardstock to go right here. And then she used that extra of the fence that she had and glued it in the middle. So you can see it does just a nice job of fitting right there. And then she went back to her thin line and went to green, and then also went to the dazzles, the jewel, and then also the We're Together. And then again, Missing Our Time Together fits perfectly, just really nice. And then this is the that first piece that I was talking about. And it's going to get glued here and foam taped right here so it's not rocking. And then that just finishes. Oh, there's also a little ball here. So she foam taped this piece right on top. So it's right there. So that just completes our little guy right here and does a really nice job of giving a message too. So very nice. Okay, now we're going to go to this one. And this is using a different card, and this is also from Hunkydory, and this is the tent card. And I have to tell you, this has been wildly popular with all of you, and it does fold at the top. And this is a 5 by 7 inch card, so it's really close to our 5 by 6.5 inch, except it has the fold on the narrow end. Now this is using, let me show you a couple things. So same thing, this is probably looking like, really, how are you going to use that? But when you kind of look at it in the amount of space it's going to take to fit on the card, it's going to work really, really nicely. So what Heidi did is she trimmed this down, and then she matted it on the Gold Mary, another perennial favorite from Hunkydory. And then she matted it a third time on the back side of this sheet. Again, you have 4 of them, and that's to fit within the front of the card. So you can see that it just does a nice, nice job. And then, so then she's got all of that onto her card. By the way, there are directions with complete measurements down below. Just click on the card. You can print them off if you want to, but they're all there, and all the measurements are given, so you don't have to, you know, kind of worry about that or try to figure out on your own. We have done that for you. Okay, so that's the front of the card, and then she's done the same thing. She did not use this on the front of her card because she has that scene already. Instead, she used this little guy. That is the full one. And then she attached and foam taped the various layers. Again, you can do as many layers or as few as you want. The I Woof You, that has been foam taped. And then she used the magenta dark pink ribbon set and used the bow maker to tie a bow and then zodded it in place. And then she did take, you can see there's extra daisies and there are extra butterflies, and foam tape some of those just within the scene that's been created. On the inside, she's done something different. And again, she used the back of this sheet. And again, you've got 4 of them. But then she's also created something different. So first she covered that with that really pretty floral design. And then she created 2 of these. So you're going to need some white cardstock. And she created 2 panels. So first there's white, then there is gold. Then there is a narrow panel of the floral that's been matted on white. So she's got 2 of those. And then she created another one of just the Mary, the white, and the floral, cut it in half and glued it this way. And then she took that little guy, this one, matted it on the Mary and foam taped it on top. And so she's got this really pretty floral and gold looking piece on the inside. So that's very nice. And you can see that all of these, or not all, but some more of these daisies are foam taped in place. So just a really nice look. And not to be left out, this little guy has another little bow that's been made on the bow maker and zodded in place. So that's a really, I almost said elaborate, but it just really is a very pretty and distinctive inside. And I'll tell you, I think that's a really nice design to remember for the front of a card too, or you could just do half of it for the front of a card. So really, good job, Heidi. Okay, now we'll slip that aside and we'll come to our next card, which is again a little bit different. Isn't that pretty? Now in this case, Heidi went with a different paper, cardstock, and she used the Unexpected Beauty solid cardstock, and she selected this tan. And so she cut a piece. So this is to be a 5-inch square. So she cut a piece that's 10 inches by 5 inches. And then she went back to one of our favorite tools. This is from Crafter's Companion, and it is a 3-way punch, and it lets you make 3 different corners. Okay, and so that's nice because you can do just a tiny curve or you can do a more rounded one. So obviously, after you have your long piece and you're going to score it in the middle, Heidi does recommend, and she's got it on her list, of using the adorable scoreboard. So she has her 10-inch long piece and she scores it in the middle at 5 inches and then folds it in half. And then she did do the rounder. It's a punch, so you're just going to push this in and punch it on all 4 corners, okay? Then she took, let me get this out of the way, took the craft mat. Let's see, our craft mat has disappeared. Okay, we've got the craft mat. Use your imagination, please. And the gingerbread, which is used often. And isn't that a pretty color with the tan and the gingerbread? And simply pushed it from the edge and just brought it like this, just all the way around, okay? Then she took the, I think it is the 3 3/4 or 3, I'm sorry, I'm not remembering. It tells you in the directions. The scalloped edged cutting die. This is out of this square set, and placed it just on the card front and then ran it through the die cutting machine, okay? Then she opened this up and then also did the inking on the edge. You want to kind of do that while you've got everything set up to do the inking, okay? Now, on the front of the card, the only other thing that's happening is the bow, and that's out of the blue set, obviously. And then what we're using here is this paper, but we're not using this front. But isn't that cute? But we are using the back, which is all equally cute. So we're going to turn it this way with the wood going up and down and all the little paw prints. And we're going to cut a piece that is wider, almost as wide as our 5-inch card. We're also going to use this to round the corners in the same dimension as the card is rounded. Okay, so then we're just going to glue that in place. Now, let's see, this little guy is going to get glued in the center. So you just want to make sure that he's positioned actually in the center. Then all of the other pieces of that little King Charles Spaniel, we'll just call him a Spaniel, are going to be divided between the front here and right here. So you just do them as you want, okay? So part of them are going to be in this front corner and the other half are going to be right here. And you can see how many there are just by what Heidi has done. And what I like also is they don't bulk on top of each other. So that's really nice too. And so just foam tape them as you like. The treat for you, that's going to get foam taped in that corner. And because she used the light blue, she also went with the blue shimmer sparkles. And she's got them on the corners. And then when you lift this up, there's one on that corner and right here. Now this is a little floppy corner because you've evacuated so much of it. It's really solid on the back, but that's fine. That just works nicely. But I like the just the shine of the glitter of the foiling. It just works really nicely against the dark of the wood. Very, very nice. Okay, I have one more, and we're going to go to the beach. So here we go. So here is our last little guy. And she has used this piece. And on the back side of it is this. So now you've seen all the papers. And this card, she is our regular 5 by 6.5-inch card. She has cut away 3 inches from the front. And she used, as you can see, so she used this part on the inside. She did mat it on the gold mirror. There it is, which is a really nice blending of that blue and gold. Is always a good marriage. And then she stopped about right here, and then used another piece for the 2 inches that was left on the card flap. Now here is where she did use this piece on the front of the card. And she did use all of the pieces on top. Again, that's your choice. And that becomes a very stable piece for her card front. Again, it's only going to be attached to that card flap, so it's only on the left side. And she did use the birthday wishes. And she also stayed with the blue ribbon set. It's going to get zotted right on the top. I like that you can still see the lighthouse. I think that's really nice. And then to add a little bit to the sea theme, she added our dewdrops, and they're self-adhesive, so she simply placed some there, kind of like some of the ocean has been spattered up. And then this part has just been left. There's some dew going up, and there's some area that if you want to write a message, you certainly have room to do that. So very, very nice. So you can see you've had a really good look at everything that's in the dog tails. And I did have a customer ask earlier, I think it was in the summer, was there anything coming for dogs? And at that moment, I didn't know, but we certainly do have things here. So you have, in this case, 8 sheets, but there are 16 dogs shown. And all of these 48 sheets with 12 designs and 4 of each, so 48 sheets altogether. There is a money saver. Of course, there's a money saver on the right side of your screen. And as I mentioned, there are complete instructions right down below. Just click on whatever card you're interested in, or on all of them. That'll certainly work. If you're watching us on YouTube, we certainly hope that you will click that you like them. We hope that you'll subscribe to our YouTube. Better yet, head on over to paperwishes.com. You can see everything. You can check out that money saver and check out Paper Wishes. We hope that you will sign up to get our emails, because then you'll know about brand new things. You'll know about the webisodes. You'll know about our fabulous sales, and you'll be in on the know of everything, because there are many things that happen here that you can only get at paperwishes.com. Well, thank you, Heidi, for your creativity. We absolutely love it. And I want to thank you for being the very best part of paperwishes.com. We'll see you next time.